Let me tell you a little story. Any of you know anything about figure skating? Of course, all you Southerners probably don't. Most of you are from the North anyway. Figure skaters in competition are subject to anywhere from 6 to 9 judges who judge them on various aspects of their performance. And they're very harsh. Now, if a figure skater makes a mistake, and let's say they, what they call wipe the ice, or fall, and disrupt their program, and they become preoccupied with having made that mistake, they're just not going to get back into the program. Now, if any of you have watched Olympics and seen figure skaters fall and get up with a smile on their face and get right back into their program and finish fairly high in the standings, that is excellence. But figure skaters who fall by the wayside and just can't go on because they made that mistake believe they need to be perfect. And I would say to all of you that in sport or in life, if you believe you must be perfect, you're not going to be able to what I call rebound. Rebounding is being able not just to fix the mistake, but to come back after making the mistake and do as well as possible. In life, the same thing holds true. Rebounding is very important. All of us have jobs, all adults have jobs that require that we do our very best. All of us, at one point or another, have made a mistake. And to be able to continue to do our best, to excel, if you will, striving to be the best, but knowing we're human, is one way of being able to rebound successfully. So you might see athletes losing their temper. I mean, I can't get over the fact, watching a baseball game where two teams come out, when the umpire calls a bad call, or even a good call they don't agree with, and they start fighting. It's unbelievable. It's unnatural. It's unsportsmanlike. It's terrible. That's not what you are being trained as Boy Scouts to think, feel, act, and do. Is it important to have a strategy in life and in sports? Yes. We need to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. We need to keep all of that straight in our minds. That's why we train. Same thing holds true in life. You're talking about getting badges. You're thinking about the future. You're thinking about what you need to do. You're thinking positively, constructively. You think of how you can do your best and what you can do to achieve that. Our thoughts and our feelings are very important in dealing with sports. How we think and feel in life and in sport is essential. The more aware we are of how we're thinking and feeling, the more in control of whatever we're doing we're going to become. Our internal memory, the things we've learned that we don't have to pay attention to anymore. If you play golf or you play basketball, dribbling that ball or swinging that club comes second nature because you've been trained or are training yourself to do it automatically. The gymnast doesn't think about falling. The gymnast is thinking about how he or she can perform to their very best. They have a positive attitude and a strategic plan. How important is it to have fun? I believe that in order to play a sport well, you need to have fun. When I worked with the NHL hockey team, the Buffalo Sabres, there were 10 of the Sabres who were being benched by their coach because they weren't playing well. And what I found out in talking with all of them was the reason they weren't playing well was because they weren't having any fun. And so I used a method called deep relaxation and asked them to visualize going back in their minds to when they played hockey on a pond, which is how I learned how to play hockey. No referees. All you were there for is just to have fun with your buddies. And then I asked them to come out of their deep relaxed state and bring that same element of fun into their game. Now I want to tell you, I observed them from the press box over a period of 12 weeks, and there was an improvement in their play. They didn't get traded, they stopped getting benched, they started playing again. I'm not saying that I did anything, they did it. I would like to say I hope that I helped them to achieve that. I'm almost done, fellas. In fact, I think I am done. I'd like to ask now if there are any questions about anything from anyone, from adults or kids. Yes, sir.
Does it help to practice mentally?
I'm sorry?
Does it help to practice mentally?
In the book, I walk people through an exercise where I put them into a very deep state of relaxation through training, and then they practice their swing or hitting a ball in slow motion, only in their minds. And they do this over a period of time. And they're not allowed to touch a club or hit a ball until they've really done what they need to do in their minds first. And when they've accomplished that, they are then usually able to do well in terms of striking the ball. So yes, it's very important. It's very important. Yes, sir.
Have you done any work with like Little League teams or the football teams in recent
Hockey.
years?
Little League hockey.
Yeah, I guess where I'm going with this is, to me, Little League baseball isn't fun for the kids.
I know it.
It's too serious. It's like
I know.
every game is the last game of the World Series.
Yeah.
And when we were kids, it was a game. Games were made to be fun.
Well, let me tell you a story. I coached and managed a team with a very good friend of mine. And my two sons were on the team. His two sons were on the team. We had a deal where I would only coach his two sons and he would coach my two sons. I would not coach my own and he would his own. He had one young man who was extremely intelligent, an intellectual. He played right field when he got to play, and he played every game for at least 3 innings. And he was just as content looking for 4-leaf clovers as he was playing baseball. But he was there, and he wanted to play, and his father wanted him to play. He struck out every time. In fact, he would get up to bat, and he'd swing the bat 3 times just so he could sit back down. Well, I let that go for about 3/4 of the season. One day I said to him, you know, Brian, your time has come. I want you now to swing that. He wasn't swinging the bat. He would just leave the bat on his shoulder and be called out. I said, I want you to swing the bat at every pitch. I don't care if it's 20 feet over your head or if it's rolling in on the ground. You understand? And he said yes. So he did as I asked. And he continued to do as I asked. Well, here's the name of the story. One day he swung that bat, and he hit that ball, and he got to first base. And the whole team went to first base to congratulate him. Brian was a success. Brian did it. Brian was having some fun. Brian recognized that he could do what he never believed he could do. That's my story. That's how I coached. That's what I believe. I believe that these young men, one day, may be coaching their children, their grandchildren, and I hope that they have that same philosophy, because having fun helps us to learn so much more easily.